Well, the BP oil spill has undoubtedly been enormously damaging to U.S. President Barack Obama. But how seriously has it affected his chances at the midterm elections in November? Kevin Gaines is the director of the Center for Afro-American and African Studies at the University of Michigan and says he expects the Obama administration to survive.
I think that African Americans understand, as do most Americans, that the popularity ratings, the approval ratings of presidents rise and fall. I think that's to be expected with President Obama. I think he's had a very difficult stretch of problems. The economy still continues to be troublesome in the United States. This spill is just an absolute catastrophe whose magnitude we're just not aware of yet. And I think in that climate, there's bound to be an end to the honeymoon period that President Obama has enjoyed both in the United States and perhaps even globally. But I think that President Obama will probably bounce back. I think he's a very resourceful political leader, and I'm pretty confident that he will, as the midterm elections approach, figure out ways to define the Democratic Party and the differences in its agenda and its program and the Republican Party.
Now, have Americans gotten over the hurdle of racism by electing the first African-American president?
Well, I think that what you have with the political opposition in the United States, Obama's opposition, the Republican Party, is a long history of using appeals to white people's anxieties, racial anxieties, to try to achieve electoral results. We're heading into the midterm elections in November, and I think as those elections approach, you'll start to see more overt racial appeals that will accuse President Obama of being a radical. Just a couple of days ago, the very prominent right-wing broadcaster Rush Limbaugh claimed that, alleged that President Obama is trying to destroy the economy as retaliation against whites for the history of slavery and racial oppression, which is just a crackpot claim. But I think that there is a certain amount of testing, of ratcheting up the racial rhetoric to see what people can get away with. And I think that the Republican Party, the opposition, is keen on achieving its agenda by any means necessary. And if it takes these kinds of overt and coded racial appeals, I think they're willing to do it. I think there's been plenty of evidence of that to date.
Interesting times ahead. Professor Kevin Gaines, thank you for your time.
Thank you.